Welcome back to the Housing Hangout, where we talk about anything and everything real estate and lending related. My name is Mark with B Realty Texas. I'm joined by my partner, Sam Gabay, Merit Lending.
Howdy, cowboys.
Yeah, man. So Sam, I'm here in my office, but looks like you're in. Where are you
All
right
right,
now?
listen, I'm going to excuse a little bit of background noise. I'm out with the family. We're camping. We're over here in Klamath Falls. Let me show you where we're at. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out, man.
Look, this is what I do for the housing hooligans right here. It doesn't matter where I'm at, on location, between two trailers. I'm making it happen for y'all. Here we go.
Cool, man.
There's the Groms right there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Sam. I want to thank all the dads out there for tuning in, all you housing hooligans, on this Father's Day weekend. This is such an important topic that we're going to be talking about today. Today's episode is called Fortress of Rights. We're going to be diving into the stand your ground and the castle doctrine laws, which are extremely important. And if you're a dad like me and Sam, protecting your family and yourself is obviously extremely important. Sam, are you familiar with the castle doctrine at all?
When you had told me let's do a show on Castle Doctrine, I had never heard of it in my life. So this is an education for me. By the way, at the end of this video, we're going to show you some videos that are going to blow your mind. Some stand your ground and Castle Doctrine videos that are incredible. I'm talking gun slinging. Make sure you stay tuned for those. Mark, why don't you break it down for us? What's the Castle Doctrine and stand your ground? And how does it relate to real
Okay.
estate? Let us know.
Yeah, so this definitely relates to real estate, because when you're talking about the castle doctrine, you're talking about your home. And your home is where everything in your universe starts and finishes. And so, like Sam was saying, his kids mean everything. Obviously, my kids mean everything to me and my wife. Our home is where we feel safe. And so understanding how to stay safe and what the laws are to protect my family, it's important. Now, the castle doctrine, the major point of a castle doctrine is this: the person does not have a duty to retreat if their home is being attacked. Now, I know that that sounds absolutely asinine to some of you, but there are some states that actually require you by law to retreat if you are being broken into or you're being attacked. For that matter, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's just
And
how I see
that is
it.
the perfect way to describe it. One thing I will say is most people feel like they're entitled to the right to defend their castle, right? Like you feel like, of course, if somebody intrudes on your home, you're absolutely entitled to defend yourself. But the law does get in the way in some states based on the way it's written, right? So you're acting like on a split
Yes.
second reaction. You see a guy in your driveway with a gun, you know he's going to come into your house. But based on the state you live in and the way the law is written, not only do you have to think about how to defend yourself in that split second, but you might also have to layer it as to, are you actually able to defend yourself at that second? Because some states say that your driveway isn't part of the castle doctrine. Some states say that you might have to try and retreat or show that you're actually in danger. So there's a lot of components there, right?
There's definitely consequences, and the castle doctrine is not absolute. This is what I mean by that. Let's say a senior citizen has dementia and he stumbles onto your front lawn. You can tell that he's elderly and he doesn't really pose a threat. It doesn't give you the right to harm that person.
A perfect example is, let's say you go on vacation, you come home and there's a squatter in the house. Look, if
Right.
you have the ability to deal with that squatter in another way, you don't have the right to draw your weapon and deal with that squatter, right? The right way to
That's
do
right.
it is to call the police and deal with it in a civil matter, even though that might be a massive pain in the ass and they have intruded your home.
In recent news, stand your ground pops up every once in a while because when defendants are defending themselves in court, they like to use the stand your ground law to state their case. Most people get confused the castle doctrine and stand your ground. So castle doctrine pertains to your home. Stand your ground is the principle that it extends the right to self-defense beyond the home to any place that you can legally occupy. So that could be your car.
By the way, we're
But I
going to
do
show
want to
you
say
some
that
videos in a second of some examples that are not stand your ground or that are not castle doctrines, right? But I think what you're saying, Mark, is
right.
castle doctrine has to do with your home, and stand your
That's right.
ground has to do with self-defense, like your personal protection. Without further ado, Mark, why don't we show people the examples of a castle doctrine and the examples of not a castle doctrine, and let's get into that video that's totally gunslinging. Let's go. By the way, if you haven't done so already, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button below. Let's get into some videos.
St. Mary's law professor Alexandra Klein says the idea behind the doctrine is that your home is your castle. The castle doctrine in Texas provides people the legal right to self-defense when in a private space.
All right, so provides people the right to self-defense within a private space. So that's what Mark was talking about. That's the difference between stand your ground and the castle doctrine. Is the castle doctrine has to do with your actual property. Again, this is a term I had never heard in my life until Mark brought it up to me. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into some examples of some castle doctrines versus stand your ground.
Wrong turn down a driveway in New York, a wrong car in Texas, and a knock on the wrong door in Missouri.
All right, so these are states that fall on both sides of the aisle, right? You've got New York, you've got Texas, you've got Missouri. So you've got people rolling up on the driveway, you've got people taking a wrong turn, you've got people misinterpreting what's going on, right? They're thinking that their life is in danger when in fact it's like innocent, like somebody cruised into your garage by mistake. So they're trying to determine whether there was actual criminal intent and whether your life was actually in danger. Now, when you were there on the spot,
right,
you were thinking your life was in danger, right? But they're saying, was your life actually in danger?
If somebody is in their home and a burglar, somebody breaks into their home, there's a presumption that when that happens, the person coming in did so with the intent to commit what's called a forcible felony, which gives the homeowner the right to defend themselves. They do not have any duty to retreat. They may stand their ground.
But law enforcement in the Texas, Missouri, and New York cases haven't indicated any criminal intent in any of them.
So that's what we're talking about, right? They haven't indicated criminal intent. So they're trying to determine whether these people actually had the right to defend themselves. Do I have the opportunity to de-escalate this situation, or do I need to take forceful action? You didn't ask for this situation. This situation came to you. You were just sitting there chilling, drinking a beer, and something happened, and all of a sudden you have to deal with this bullshit, and you're going to have to like live with that decision for months and months ahead. They're going to be second guessing you the whole way. Let's keep going.
There is a theory that the curtilage or the surrounding area, such as a driveway or the front doorstep, are part of the home itself.
Fisher says it would depend.
So a theory that your driveway is part of your home. Look, man, the driveway is part of my home. When I bought my house, I bought the driveway too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the driveway with AK-47s.
Expect return fire.
I'm standing my ground, man, all day long.
Just this week alone, there have been 2 incidents involving Apple AirTags.
Okay, so these are Apple AirTags. This is a perfect example of what is not a castle doctrine. Let's find out why.
Being used to track down stolen vehicles and vehicle owners taking matters into their own hands. Klein says the castle doctrine wouldn't exactly apply in these cases.
All right, so these are people that were dealing with a lot of theft and put Apple AirTags in their cars, which is really clever, and in an attempt to try and find who the thieves were, right? And then they tried to use castle doctrine as an excuse for them trying to hunt down their property. Now, I feel for them wanting to hunt down their property, but this is nor stand your ground, nor is it a castle doctrine. This is vigilantism. All right, you've got the information, you put the AirTag in, which was clever. Now it's time to call the cops, right? It's not time to go hunting down these people, right?
You call the police.
Right.
You call the police in this case. This is not what the castle doctrine was designed for.
All right, now this next one is a 100% example of both, in my opinion. And Mark, you can comment. Stand your ground and castle doctrine. But this man got challenged all the way to the courthouse. Now, this is the short that we put out earlier. We got a lot of comments on what happened to this guy. I got some feedback that he's possibly imprisoned, that he lost his conceal and carry. I'm not really sure what happened to the guy, but I know he faced a lot of headwinds. So let's check it out. Let's see what went down in this case.
Let's see it.
Attempted home invasion caught on camera, but the unsuspecting homeowner winds up pulling a gun on his attackers.
Terrifying surveillance video shows a masked intruder with a gun run up to this mid-city man about to walk in his front door. The homeowner pulls out his gun to defend himself, firing shots at the 2 intruders, quickly entering a shootout. The homeowner walks to the front door, grabbing for his keys. 2 intruders jump the front gate. 1 intruder runs up to the front door. The mid-city man throws his tea, pulls out his gun, and starts shooting.
Sam, open and shut case, man. This is castle doctrine.
All day long.
Absolute castle doctrine.
All day long.
And stand your ground.
All day long, right?
All day long.
But they challenged him. It was in the driveway. Did he have the ability to get out of this without pulling a gun, without shooting? It was in the driveway. It wasn't necessarily in the house. He should have receded. I mean, look, this guy's in a hallway. He's got nowhere to run. Somebody came up to him with a gun pointed at his head. If he didn't act the way
he's
he
backed
did,
into a corner, man.
He's totally backed.
He's backed into a
he
corner.
Had nowhere to go.
What's the alternative, Sam? Like, let's talk about this. He's backed into a corner at his front door. These guys are approaching him. What's the alternative?
I mean, these guys weren't there to deliver flowers. I mean, this was 100% home invasion. Period.
I believe that there was return fire as well.
Right.
But
there was return fire.
100%. There was return fire. Okay, so This is 100% castle doctrine. Stand your ground. The initial response may have been okay, but then the fact that he chased them out into the driveway,
correct,
and started to pursue them, that's maybe where things got a little bit dicey.
I'm going to go one step further. I don't even have a Housing Hangout shirt, but if you can break down what happened to this dude in the comments for us, you're getting a free Housing Hangout shirt. How about that?
Boom, there you go. Our first housing hooligan shirt will go out. So
before me. All right, we introduced the term castle doctrine to you. We showed you the difference between castle doctrine and stand your ground. We showed you some videos that were neither. We also showed you a gunslinging video that was 100% both. If you haven't done so already, now's the perfect time to subscribe. I'm going to put a video on the screen we did last week of the moldy Playboy Mansion, which is hilarious. You definitely have to check that out. Mark, that does it for me. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. What do you say, Mark?
Happy Father's Day. We're out. Enjoy your weekend.
We're out, everybody. Peace.
Peace.